Hey guys, it's Kaz here, aka Cats and Camera, and today I'm bringing you the first video in what I hope will be a series of videos. Not quite sure how often I'm going to do them, but I do have a list. So this is going to be a series where I recommend books with disabilities and illness. I want it to be as broad as possible so I can recommend books with any sort of character, with any sort of thing that's different with them. So yeah, each video I'm going to talk about 5 books. I'm going to make it so 1 or 2 of them are books you've probably heard of, and then the rest of them are stuff that I feel like you probably wouldn't have heard of. So it's a nice little mix, a nice little balance. So first of all, a book you've definitely heard of. Let's start this off with something you all know, and that is the Magnus Chase series by Rick Riordan. Now if you somehow don't know, this book is about Norse mythology, so you've got your Thor, you've got your Loki, you know how it is. In here we follow Magnus Chase, who right at the beginning of the series dies and then goes to the afterlife, and then that's where the story begins. And you know Rick Riordan, you know how he rolls. There's quests, there's stuff, there's loads of cameos by loads of characters, and there's loads of fun, silly gods. And yeah, in here Magnus has 2 friends. One of them is a dwarf that likes to make clothes more than make buildings or other dwarfy type things, and the other one is a deaf elf. And yeah, just in this story, the deafness is not treated as something that makes him less of a person. He's just a guy who happens to be deaf. Well, an elf that happens to be deaf, and it's just dealt with in a really good way in here. Magnus and his other friends just use sign language, and it's just used normally. It's not made of a big deal, and it's just really cool to see. It's nice. This one I'm sure you've all heard of. Next I've got The 5 Stages of Andrew Brawley by Sean David Hutchinson. This is more of sort of a mental health kind of story. It's set in a hospital where our main character Andrew kind of lives and works and roams about in, and there's a whole host of characters. He's got a couple of friends that have cancer. There's a new boy that's brought in that has burns all over his body, and it's trying to figure out what's happening to him, and he is dealing with some issues and dealing with a lot of mental health issues. And yeah, if you haven't read this book, you should definitely check it out. Definitely a harrowing one, but if that's your jam, then give it a go. Next up I have Elephant Shoe by J.S. Edge. This one, I know this is the whole point of this video, is to recommend you books with different themes in, but this one I'm not actually going to tell you exactly what the disability is in here because it's kind of spoilers. And yeah, I know what people are, orientation, disability, it's not a spoiler, but in here we are following the main character who's kind of like dealing with stuff and trying to figure out what's happening to people, so it is kind of a spoiler because you're meant to learn on the way as he does. But anyway, this follows Mikey, who as an 11-year-old was in a car accident with him, his parents and his best friend, and his parents died. He was shipped off to his grandparents, and then quite a few years later he's brought back to where he used to live, and he's trying to come to terms with that. He has an older brother who he feels really negatively towards because he feels like he just shipped him off to his grandparents and didn't play a part in his life. So he's dealing with anger issues towards him. And his best friend, who was also in the car, Tate, there's something about him. He's really quiet, he's really reserved and away from everybody. He doesn't really interact with anyone in sixth form. And yeah, it's about him trying to figure out Tate. There's a male-male romance, and the love interest has a disability, and it's just done really well, and I really adored this book. It's self-published. I actually got this one as a review copy on my Kindle, and I liked it so much that I bought it, so you know me, I'm a cheap ass, so it must be good. Next up I have 100 Sideways Miles by Andrew Smith. This one follows Finn as he's kind of dealing with school. He's trying to figure out what college he wants to go to. There's a girl he likes, his best friend Cade plays a big part of it, and in here Finn has epilepsy, so quite often he'll have fits, and it's just written really well. He'll be interacting or doing something, and then he'll have a fit, and you're in his head afterwards, and the way he feels and how angry and kind of ashamed sometimes he feels when he doesn't want people to have to help him, but he has to have people help him up and stuff. So that's dealt with in a really good way. And the friendships in here, I always think this about Andrew Smith's writing, but he writes such good male-male friendships. You don't see it very often in YA. A lot of the time it's females, or a lot of the time it's relationships, or if it's men, they're gonna have some sort of male-male romance. But in here, him and his best friend are just written really well. And yeah, it's just a really good book, so you should check it out. And last but not least, I have Educating Simon by Robin Reardon. In this one, our main character Simon does have synesthesia, which is this thing where words can have colours and sounds can have tastes, all that business. It's a real thing, people do actually have it. A lot of artists and musicians can be attributed to having this. I know definitely Kandinsky did, you can tell by his paintings and stuff. But yeah, we follow him. He has been ripped out of England and is now living in America because his mum has married this new guy. And it's about him dealing with that. It's quite angry. If you don't like reading about protagonists that are kind of unlikable at the beginning because they haven't sort of figured stuff out, then you probably won't enjoy this. But if not, he is a bit of a mardy bitch at the beginning. But the new husband also has a daughter who has Asperger's syndrome, so we do see a lot of interaction between Simon and Percy. And I don't really know much about Asperger's, but I feel like it was written really well. I've not seen any reviews where people say it wasn't written well, so yeah, it's just dealt with in a really good way in here. We have loads of other characters with different diversities. Simon's gay as well. We have one of the people that works at the house is also gay, and he's black as well. So there's also a part of this story where Simon is teaching this 11-year-old trans girl spelling so she can win her spelling bee. And yeah, it's just really good. It's really well done. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully there's at least 1 or 2 books in here that you haven't heard of or haven't read yet that you will now pick up, because you know there's some sort of diversity in there to do with illness or disability. All of these books I really enjoyed, so yeah. So yeah, let me know down below if you have read any of these, or if now you're willing to check them out, now you know that there's different things going on in there. Let me know down below. If this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of my others. And if you continue to enjoy them, then please subscribe, that would be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video.